This is the POSX support video on how to replace the auto cutter on the Evo receipt printer. You're going to want to have a normal size Phillips head screwdriver and a smaller size Phillips head screwdriver to access some of the screws that hold the cutter in place. So to begin, what you're going to want to do is remove the cover that has the POSX logo on it and remove those two screws that are in there. You're then going to want to press the release button where the paper is held and pop that top cover off. Kind of pops back. Then close that cover, and then what you're going to want to do is there's 6 screws on the base, so go ahead and remove those 6 screws from the base of the printer. After you've removed those 6 screws, you can go ahead and remove the printer from the base, and you'll now have access to where the cutter plugs in. Go ahead and remove that cable. And now turn it on its side, and you're going to want to remove this lever that helps control the release button, and then remove the screw that holds the button in. Once you got that screw removed, you can go ahead and take that mechanism out, and you have access to the screws that hold the cutter in place. This is where you'll need that smaller Phillips head screwdriver. And once you get these 4 screws out, you can then go ahead and remove the cutter mechanism. And go ahead and replace it with the new cutter that you've received. And go ahead and place those screws that you just removed back into place. And once you have those 4 screws back in place, you can go ahead and place the release button back into place and put the screw back on and screw that in. And then go ahead and put the other part of the release mechanism back into place. There is a spring there that you're going to want to ensure that you have it attached properly to this mechanism. That's how it actually functions to release the door where you place the paper inside, so just make sure you have that secure on there. And you can actually test it while you have it still open like this to ensure that you have it connected properly. And go ahead and plug the cutter mechanism back into the main board of the printer and put the cover back on. And go ahead and secure those 6 screws in place. you're going to want to go ahead and do is place this cover back on. You want to start from the back and pop it in there, and then go ahead and work your way forward. You may find that the wire that connects to the cutter is not down straight all the way. This can cause the cover not to secure. You may also find that the tear bar, which is where you tear the paper off, is also preventing it. You can just use that screwdriver and go ahead and pull that back into place so that you can actually secure this closed. And now that you've got it down and secure, you can go ahead and place those 2 final screws back in. And once you're done with placing these 2 screws back into place, you will go ahead and put the cover that says POSIX back on and power on your printer and test to make sure your cutter works. You should find that it does.